But our first guest tonight is an Emmy-nominated actor and filmmaker you know from his work in the Quiet Place franchise and shows like The Office and Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. He's returning to the stage in Angry Allen, which begins previews May 23rd at Off-Broadway's Studio Seaview. And his new film, Fountain of Youth, premieres May 23rd on Apple TV+. Let's take a look.
What is this? You've been in the country 10 minutes. What, did you steal this too? You give that painting back.
I will, but first, get in, and you can have it back.
No.
It's now or never.
No. You're not gonna make it out of here.
You underestimate my choice in cars.
Please welcome back to the show our very good friend John Krasinski, everybody!
So good to be back.
You know, I was thinking about you yesterday was Upfronts. For those who don't know, this is when NBC, all the networks do it this week. They announce their new shows.
Yep.
They show clips from their new shows.
Did you get announced?
I got announced. They were like,
great.
yeah, that we're back.
Perfect.
We're
Congrats.
back.
Congrats.
But I think this is the first time I met you. No, maybe that's not true. I met you before you were in the
In
office.
that weird bar. Yeah,
yes,
keep going with
we
this
met in a
story.
weird bar.
Yeah.
But then we professionally met. So in 2005, they announced there was going to be this adaptation of this British show called The Office. And look at these babies. Look at this group.
Yeah. I remember that day very well.
It's so funny because everybody's really excited. It's the beginning of something. But of course, you don't know if the show's actually going to work yet. You just know it's going to be on TV.
Well, I was a waiter when that show got picked up. And then I went back to waiting tables after the pilot. So I had no idea what was happening. And then
so you shot a show, and then of course they give you a little bit of money for the pilot, but then you just have to go back to the tables.
How much confidence did I have in the show? I was like, I don't think so, guys. I'm going to head back to this.
When you told your manager you're going to do it, he's like, we'll keep your spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's basically right.
Yeah.
And then I remember arriving there, and I had no idea what the upfronts were, and it was my first red carpet, and I was terrified. There was like 300 photographers. And the producer was like, all right, guys, here he is, John Krasinski from The Office. And I stepped out, and everybody picked up their camera. And then they went, who is it? And they went, John Krasinski. And they went, no, that's right. And then one guy went, hey, buddy. There you go. And I was like, what?
I like to think that he actually made the fart sound as he did it. He's like, I'm going to take one, but I'm going to make a very obscene sound.
I do want to find the photo, because I think it would be like me hitched from the side.
Time is a flat circle. There's a Office.
Whoa.
There's a new. Yeah, I'm getting real deep now. But there's a new, sort of based in the world of The Office show that's going to be on AMC.
Yep.
Donald Gleason, who's also in
Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is a fantastic film. It's Guy Ritchie, who's an incredible director. It's you and Natalie Portman. And
I would have said yes to being a waiter in this movie.
And a Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie, I mean, I feel like the first time I guess Lock, Stock, right?
Lock, Stock, and that Snatch is one of the best.
And those, I think seeing those, it was like, oh, there's a whole new style of filmmaking, and it's so exciting that
I worked on an accent for the movie. Wasn't necessary.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Did you show up and offer it to Guy, and he was like, and we're gonna pass?
Thanks anyway. No, but it is hard not to do the accent around him, and it's super embarrassing because you walk into the trailer and he goes, John Ski! And you go, hey, and he goes, Mr. John, you want to sit down here? And you're like, yeah, that's right, Gov. And he goes, nope. And you go, yeah, I'll just go back to being American. McDonald's, stuff like that.
Natalie Portman plays your sister in this film.
She is the best.
It's really nice. There's also, this is a very fun. There's a lightness to this film that maybe isn't in every Guy Ritchie film, and it's just sort of a delightful to see the two of you having so much fun.
And we get to
together.
play siblings, which is nice, instead of the romance between two people.
Yeah.
She's one of our greatest actresses, but to see her have so much fun in this movie and be so funny, it was
and she's very capable of being fun and funny, and doesn't get those opportunities as much as you would like. There's also, you've been, I feel like, doing a lot of stunt work in recent years.
Yes.
This obviously called for it. Did you do it in this one?
Yes, and it was funny because Guy just assumed that I would do it. So he was like, Johnny, just hop on the scooter there. And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know.
Was it the same as the camera? It's the old camera?
This is going great. We can edit all this out.
We'll put in accurate sound effects for both things.
Yeah. There was a stunt where I remember he said to me just very confidently, he's like, right, and then you're gonna run for the moving train and you'll hop on the back. And I went, ooh, that's like Buster Keaton stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready for that. And sure enough, we were shooting it and I ran for the train. And because, weirdly, I think it was because of dehydration, my legs locked up.
Okay.
And when I tell you it's probably the most pain I've felt, you can see it when you watch the movie. You can see that as I'm running, I'm trying to be like, look really, oh my God. And you can see my legs just stop working. And then I kind of like Tin Man it to the, yeah. It's a great movie. You're gonna love
Surely
it.
there were no other takes? He had to use your Tin Man legs?
Well, I said to him, I knew that if I missed that train,
Yeah.
I was never gonna be able to walk again. So I just ripped all kinds of
Yeah.
muscles doing it. Yeah.
It's very funny to think that he would just be like, no, we have to wait for the next train. You're like, oh, this isn't a train for the movie. He's like, no, we gotta
we
wait
don't
2
own
hours.
this train? He's like, oh God, no.
We
No.
can afford a train.
We couldn't even get a ticket. That's why you're running.
The whole thing is just shot guerrilla style.
Yeah.
He's like, no, we don't, that's not our car. But I will say, it is, you know, this is a movie where it's so fun to see. It is a big budget movie. These
Yes.
are on location, which in
Oh
this
my
day and
God.
age, to see something that's not shot on a soundstage, which
Yeah.
I know has its conveniences, but it's very cool as a viewer to see
Oh my God.
massive scale.
Yeah, we shot at the pyramids. Like, they were 5 feet away from us, and that was just mind-blowing. I think that was the most selfies I've ever taken in my life.
Yeah.
I just turned into a teenager that was like... And Natalie was like, you don't have to pout. And I was like, you don't have to pout. None of that happened. But no, it was crazy. Actually, the day we were there was an expedition. They were digging near the pyramid, and they had this tented off area, and they had found a new tunnel into the pyramid. And we all
So
walked
you
that
know
real-
you're haunted for life, right? But keep going.
Oh, that's what's been going on. I see.
So a new tunnel?
Yeah, a new tunnel. And we all went around like, oh, let's see it. And the person was extremely protective. They
Yeah.
were like, oh, because they thought that I would discover it. Like, yeah, just excuse me. Hey, look at this new tunnel. And they're like, pfft.
You're like, hey, I remember you.
There's that guy. Why are
He's
you
like,
here?
John.
Wow.
What
What did you say? The Earth's flat time? What did you say?
time is a flat circle.
Sure.
Although time is a circle. Hey, you're back on stage. This is really exciting.
It is.
When was the last time you did a show in New York? 2016?
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
did a
dry
show at
powder.
the Public. Dry powder.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And but this is a
You have
whole
a
other
great
thing.
set of researchers.
Yeah, we really do. And they tell me right before you come on. So
Dry
it's
powder at the Public.
Yeah.
And you're like 2016, 17, 16. Okay, great. Let's go.
And then I look like I'm. That's the part where I'm like, was it 2016? I can't remember from 5 minutes ago. This is a one-man show, though.
This is a one-man show, which is a real strong decision.
I'm very impressed with it.
Yeah,
I'm very
thank you
proud of
very
you.
much.
It's really cool.
That's really cool to say. Yeah, I just really wanted to do something totally different. And now we're 1 week away from opening, and I'm like, this is totally different. Oh my God, totally. No, but it's really exciting. The play is amazing. Penny Skinner, the playwright, is fantastic. And Sam Gold is one of my favorite directors, and he's directing it.
I think a lot of actors would say this, that it's the easiest when you're like, how can you remember all that dialogue? They'll say if the writing's good, it's easy to remember.
Exactly true.
Still, when it's a one-person show, that's a lot of dialogue. A
Yeah.
week out, how are you doing with it?
Can these cue card guys come with me?
Oh, yeah.
That would be great. If you could just do this and then drop it,
How
and
are
then
you?
I'll feel safer.
How are you with spelling the words right? Because they've got like a.
That's not
Are you a stickler?
That's not
Are you a
fair.
stickler?
Get out. Just walk out. He doesn't deserve you.
First, is it true? First role on stage, and again, the researchers told me, but you were Daddy Warbucks, 6th grade.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do you think you got cast as Warbucks?
Well, I had a new take. I went, I'm going to go full head of hair. And they went, whoa. I was in
They
6th grade.
didn't bald cap you? Because
No.
to me, the delight is a 6-year-old in a ball cap.
No. I didn't.
Sixth graders. Sorry,
I had a
not-
full suit and everything. Also, Annie was 4 feet taller than me.
Really?
And so I was like, Annie, do you want to come home with me? And she was like, not now. And I was like, yeah. It was great.
I love
Everybody
it.
loved it.
It's a real a swap of the dynamics. I want to talk about something that is it's a little hard for me to talk about,
Oh,
but
okay.
you got a little boat. Like just
Yes.
a little motorboat.
Yeah, yep, I got a...
But you keep it in the same place that my father-in-law has a little boat.
one of my favorite human beings on earth.
And he's really connected with
Ash.
Tom Ash.
What a name. Isn't
Yeah.
that a great name?
And you now are like his dream. You're a guy who wants to talk to him about boats.
Yeah.
Whereas
I'm his de facto son-in-law. that
Oh
he-
my God.
You know,
You show up and I'm like mist. I'm immediately just like, he just like walks right through me.
He just always is looking at you going, see this, Seth? That's what a real man talks about. Boats and fishing and not talk shows.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no,
and you know what I always say? I'm like, he's doing a one-person show. He's not who you think he is.
And then I turn into mist.
I'm very excited to see your show.
Thank you very much.
Congrats on the movie.
Thank you very much.
It's always so happy. I'm always so happy to have you here. You guys, this is John Krasinski.
Guys.
Angry Ellen.
Previous May 23rd, Studio CB. Found of Youth premieres May 23rd on Apple TV+. We'll be right back with Reba McEntire.